Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So today I've got a video clip that I want to share with you that we absolutely have to talk about. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought this is mind-blowing. I mean, there is no way that somebody who has an education in law and presumably the Constitution would ever say something like this. But I did a little bit more research, major news outlets started picking it up, and yes, it is actually a real video of Harris saying that the government is allowed to come into your private residence to check to make sure that you are storing your firearms properly. You guys are going to want to see this. Let's get into it. Hey, real quick before we get started, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free, it only takes a second, but it really does help us out here quite a bit. So if you want to show your support, that's a great way of doing that. The little alarm bell will let you know when new videos come out, and the thumbs up is always appreciated. So with that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go and talk about what's going on here. Now, one thing I want to note real quick before we play this clip is that this is when she was the district attorney of San Francisco and Newsom was the mayor of San Francisco. So it's kind of an old, grainy video, but this is actually preceding a bill that was signed just a couple months later. So just take a look for yourself.
Responsible behaviors among everybody in the community, and just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible and safe in the way you conduct your affairs.
Have you heard from...
Now, you can watch that 1,000 times. It's always going to say and mean the same thing, which is that she believes the government has the right to just come into your home to make sure that you are complying with the law, which is absolutely not the case. That is completely unconstitutional. But basically, if you go back and you listen to it again, she's saying it doesn't matter if you legally possess a firearm in the sanctity of your locked home, okay? So you're legal, it's legal, you're in your locked home. That doesn't mean that they can't just simply come in and make sure that you are not breaking the law. That is about as far out there as you can imagine. But again, this is not only just coming from California, it's coming from San Francisco, which if you look at San Francisco's laws as they stand today, they're some of the worst in the entire country, some of the strictest in the entire country, and some of the strictest in California, and that's saying something. That's like being the king of the hill, right? That's about as bad as it gets right there. Now, what really bothers me here, besides everything else, obviously, is the fact that you have somebody who has studied law and presumably the Constitution who is saying something like this, not behind closed doors, not within a small group of friends where you feel like you can actually speak your mind, but in public, at a press conference in front of a church. So we have somebody who is saying something like this out loud for everybody to know what your thoughts are. Now, in California, I've made several videos about an upcoming law that was just passed. It's SB 53. If you go back just a couple months ago, you'll see a video on my channel where we talked about the passage of SB 53 by both the Assembly and the Senate. This is a bill that's headed up to the governor's desk, and the governor is going to consider signing it. Now, I personally think he's going to sign it because it is, just like about this topic, it is about safe storage. And with safe storage laws, obviously, there's not really any way to tell whether or not somebody's in compliance unless something happens that causes law enforcement to be there where they can physically witness what the status is. Because again, they're not allowed to just come in. We have constitutional rights that protect us against that. But still, the fact that you have somebody like this who's saying it, they're standing next to the person who is the current governor, and now that current governor is looking at signing that particular bill, which has direct implications to what she said. That is very worrisome, especially in a state like that has shown that it doesn't really care so much about, you know, whether or not they're doing things the right way. It's just whether or not they get it done and make their constituents happy, right? So again, it's wild to me, absolutely wild that somebody would say something like that when it's such a direct contradiction to the Constitution. I mean, it's absolutely incredible to me, and that's one of the more common ones. You know, I know that some of them are kind of vague, or some people don't know every single amendment that we have in our Bill of Rights, but that's one that we talk about all the time. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know about that. I wanted to get that out there so you guys can see it. And, you know, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. You guys have a great day.